Hi guys, Ashley here. I am your China marketing expert, and in my videos I talk about China, marketing and leadership. Today let's talk about the outbreak of coronavirus in China, and in particular, how do businesses react to it? If you are in marketing, how shall you communicate with your consumers? And what to expect going forward. Just yesterday, I had an interview with one of the big news outlets here in the world, and they were asking in particular, how shall luxury brands, or for that matter, brands in general, react to the current outbreak in terms of communication. So let's start with a couple of ground information and ground rules. First of all, is it serious what's happening in China right now? Of course it is. Millions of people are on lockdown. The mood is generally quite low. It is a sensitive situation. So when it comes to business, when it comes to selling to China, selling in China, when it comes to any sort of business, it is difficult. And the conversion rates are down, of course. And secondly, you need to know that apart from all else, e-commerce is probably one of the safer havens in many ways, because while people are stuck at home, they also, many of them at least, feel that, okay, I need to purchase something to make myself feel better. Besides that, they don't go outside, so even daily necessities are being brought to them through e-commerce companies. So while the first week was really tough on all businesses, later on e-commerce got a little bit better. And thirdly, you need to know that right now, talking about e-commerce, logistics is also under a lot of pressure and has been for the past 3 weeks. It is recovering, right? First of all, logistics was prioritized to deliver necessities to Chinese affected cities and to people delivering things like food and medicine, etc. So right now, logistics is getting slowly and gradually better. By the end of this week or next week, it shall be back to normal. But when it comes to cross-border e-commerce, of course, it's a lot tougher. A lot of centers that are handling cross-border e-commerce parcels here in Hong Kong are actually closed down. Hence, what shall brands do? The question from that interview that I did yesterday was specifically luxury brands right now shut down a lot of stores. So obviously there's no traffic, there's no business. So what can they do? Look at the online opportunities. So working with your, for example, online shopping channels, it's actually a good time to do that. Right now, big commerce giants such as Alibaba, for instance, are actually introducing subsidies. So here we see that business support measures were introduced by Alibaba on the 10th of February. And what they're saying is they're going to support and extend platform business operation costs. And of course, they're going to be giving 1 billion RMB subsidies when it comes to supply chain and logistics. Besides that, a lot of giants right now also give discounts or additional traffic whenever you promote. By the way, talking about this here, if you are promoting, if you want to somehow capitalize on this crisis, I would advise against it. So it's not a good time for sales campaigns. You need to be really careful here. It's a great time for communication, talking to people, right? Engaging with the audience. But sales at this sensitive time and pushing it is definitely very sensitive. So online shopping channels is definitely one thing that brands affected need to look at. Feel-good consumption is rising in China, right? When you are again stuck at home and you just want to purchase to make yourself feel better, especially when it comes to luxury, the little luxury, the small luxury things that make you feel better are growing. Secondly, turn retail. And what is the difference between, e-commerce, online shopping, let's call it, and retailing? Essentially, it is a cooperation with big logistics companies, like for example, for same-day delivery. When I purchase something on e-commerce, it means I need to wait for at least 1 to 2 days before it arrives. But if I do retailing, my product is essentially featured in the same day delivery kind of companies. So you do retailing, and once you place the order is often at your doorstep within 1 to 2 hours. So this might be also temporarily a good strategy for those businesses that right now lost a lot of foot traffic and want to stay afloat. Besides that, VR shopping is actually making a comeback. A couple of big museums in China actually introduced the VR showroom. For example, in Xi'an, the Terracotta Warrior Museum, they built the museum, VR version of museum, and it is free to visit, right? So if you cannot travel to Xi'an, at least you can enjoy the artifacts, etc. So VR shopping, where you can replicate that online experience, is also something fun. But make sure that, again, you're not pushing sales too much at this particular moment. Apart from all that, what you can and shall do is pay special attention to social media. Right now is literally a huge rise of social media because people are staying at home, they are following the news, they want to chat with people, they want to see what's actually going outside, and social media is the most important and powerful medium to do that. So do communicate on social media. And in terms of how to communicate, that's another point on our agenda here. So how do you communicate appropriately? First of all, you need to be thoughtful. And of course, as I mentioned before, pause your sales and promotional campaigns if you run any aggressive campaigns, because conversions are down, because it's not going to bring you results. And of course, you're also at risk of getting that backlash. Secondly, publicize your company's standpoint. And a lot of people shy away from talking about coronavirus or saying what our company actually feels, or what are we going through as a company. It might be a good idea to do that. Make sure that you are empathetic, make sure that you are human, that you tell people essentially what to talk about if you're talking coronavirus when it's so sensitive. Talk about Jayo, basically, let's go together, we can beat it together. Talk about human emotions, how you're supporting people in times of need. For example, a couple of great companies that did that was Tiffany and LV. They published a post on their WeChat account, which basically says, guys, we can go through this together. Even brands like Jack Daniels published a post which said, guys, we're all on lockdown right now, just hold on a bit longer and think about who you're going to invite for a drink once the lockdown or the home office is over, right? So you stay human and you're supporting people very empathetically. At the same time, when you're communicating, you also can give people tips on how to either get entertained or get skills or stay healthy, fit, or whatever during this time of home office and lockdown. For example, Lululemon is doing a great job. They are teaching you how to do yoga while you are at home and basically staying physically active. At the same time, your company's social responsibility, especially if you're a big company, this is a good time to be socially responsible. And most of Chinese tech giants and any other big companies actually participated quite significantly in the relief measures in view of this recent crisis. So talk about it if it is appropriate, if you do something, if this is truly a genuine kind of strike to help and support the Chinese people. But at the same time, that's why I want to warn you, do not do charity marketing. So what does it mean, charity marketing? It means when you are trying to capitalize on the crisis and say things like, guys, if you buy this product today, 20% of all sales goes to people affected. This is going to be a problem and you will get backlash most likely. What else you don't need to do? Promoting products very heavily, as mentioned before. And number 3, definitely don't make fun. Don't make fun. On social media in China, I'm just looking at that post on Weibo just a couple of days back. They started calling coronavirus the little Guan. So it's like a nickname for the virus. And people that created that hashtag got backlash. Netizens were calling it anything from naive, stupid, mentally challenged, and gross comment. So you definitely don't want to get a reaction like this. So guys, let's stay strong. I think the most important thing that we all need to understand is that there will be a comeback. And comeback is going to come any time between March, April and May. And actually a lot of marketers right now are talking about May 1st, the May holiday being the most important kind of rebound of sales going forward. So prepare for that, prepare your products, marketing materials, and all that. So don't forget to click that subscribe and follow button, and we'll talk about China in our further videos.